I want to have a play with the crane. So we're going to move this green 10-foot container over there. So I've been up there and put my chains on the front two loops, because what I need to do is slide it forward before I can lift it. Because if I try and lift it, I don't want it to knock into the little brick building to the left. And B, I think it's just better if I drag it out and get it closer to the trailer. Less pressure lifting something heavy all the way out there. So we'll drag it towards me and have a go lifting it. So this is a Fazzy crane, and I know on paper it will lift 2.2 tons at 4 meters, which is the second stage of that boom all the way in on the hydraulics, if you like. So you've got your main jib and then your hinge, and with that hinged out where the hook sits, that should lift 2.2 tons, which is a 20-foot container, and this is a 10-foot container. So it should be roughly half, but we'll see how it lifts. So I'm thinking that we must be able to probably lift it now, but I'm just not quite clear of the little brick building there. So I think we'll drag it a little bit more and then we'll have a go for the lift. Again, I'm finding down by the levers it's quite difficult to actually see where the chains are pulling and where your hook is. In an ideal world, you'd have a remote Hiab around your neck, you know, with a control box. Much easier to see what you're doing because you can stand at a safer distance and on observe while operating, I suppose. But this is what we got, and this is why we're having a go, I suppose. So I have nipped up on the ladder and secured the rest of the chains at the back. And as you can see, we can start to move it now. The thing that I'm struggling with is to get the right angle to give it a straight lift up, because that big ram is not picking it up as it is. It seems to be the second jib that when I push it out horizontally, as you can see, that's when I get the height to lift it. But it swings round nicely onto the trailer. Not saying I followed every health and safety rule in the handbook, but is on. Didn't move the tipping skips, did I? So nice little Nissan forklift to the rescue here. Nicely in position now, so we're going to get the landing legs out and unload the container. So what I don't like here with having to use the levers is how close you are to the object you're lifting. I guess, again, in an ideal world with a remote, you'd have a piece of rope on the corner of that container, and then if it started swinging, you just pull on the rope gently while you're stood where it's safe. But we've got it off, a few little pushes just to get it square against the fence, and I'm quite happy. So this was my first time folding the Hiab back in. I haven't had a Hiab like this before. I've always had the second jib fold up the side of the first jib, but this all folds into itself. So you've got to be careful not to foul any of the pipes for the main ram as you tuck it in. So you fold that second jib in, and then I'm going to boom out, which is going to lock the hook inside that first jib, and then I can continue to lower it down until it's on its stops. And there we are, that is the container moved. Quite happy overall. Need to work out why we're not getting enough flow to the crane. That needs to be able to lift its maximum capacity to get the most out of the use of the crane and the trailer, I suppose. I love this rig. I can't wait to get it out to work. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to showing you what's next.